T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Before I get into this review, I owe you guys a few comparisons. Here is Combine Wars Chop Shop next to the figure he was retooled from, Scrapnel, aka Shrapnel. And as you can see, the color scheme is very different. Their body parts and molds are the same, just the heads are completely different. And here he is next to Legends Megatron's little Target Master dude, Chop Shop. So it's funny, they're technically two Legends Chop Shop within like a year of each other. So there you go with this comparison. Of course, this thing transforms a lot easier. You just lay it down and it's a beetle. But anyway, get out of here. Shockwave, Combine Wars Shockwave. I can't wait to open this dude up. I broke down and watched PR's review, and it reminded me why I wanted to be a reviewer myself, because the whole time I was looking at this arm, I was like, it looks like it's double jointed. It looked like the elbow is double jointed. It looked like the elbow is double jointed. And he would not bend that elbow for nothing. I love PR. I absolutely love him. But it was frustrating me, the fact that he wouldn't bend that double jointed elbow. And right here, I can see that it's bent, so I can't wait to try that out. The Decepticon scientists created Bruticus to pummel the Autobots. I've re-recorded this like 3 times because I can't say Bruticus. But anyway, let's get him out of this packaging. But before that, you see he's supposed to connect to Onslaught right there. So, yeah, that's a thing. Shockwave's collector's card. It is very nicely illustrated. And it's just plain on the back like all the rest. As I hypothesized, Shockwave does indeed have working double-jointed elbows. And as I didn't hypothesize, he has loose ball-jointed hips. I can correct that with some floor polish, but that's a thing on mine. But what I can tell you right here, this is without a doubt the best Legends class figure released so far. The absolute best, especially when it comes to the articulation. Now, PR wasn't completely wrong. Here's the problem. Back here, it's completely rounded in the back of this joint, but they have a little lip right there where they want to force you to stop the joint from moving. But if you're like me and you want your toys to do certain things, you force it. You could just bend it, and it just bends right there. So, but I could see why he was hesitant, because it does naturally just stop right there. But if that wouldn't have worked, what I would have did next was pop the balls off, switch the shoulders, and then switch the arms, and it would have given the same result, because the elbow does bend that way. So it would have been like this, basically. But it is more towards the front. But look at this dude. He is covered in detail and sculpt. And a lot of cues and throwbacks to the original Shockwave, like these little lumps on the shoulders right there. And under his armpit, that lump right there, that design. Transparent chest. His forearms are completely transparent, but they painted them this nice purple, which matches this plastic right here. The legs are also painted purple on top of this transparent, like light purple, or whatever you call that color. I'm not a name, you know what I mean. I'm not an expert of color names. But where they took it to the next level, this ball-jointed head. I don't think any of the other Legends class figures have a ball-jointed head, and that makes him so expressive for a figure that only has an eyeball for a face. He can look down. He can look up. He can tilt to the side. I love it. The shoulders can go up like this due to the transformation. They're on a ball joint. I showed the double joint right there. Ball joint and elbow, of course, that can swivel. Only thing he's missing is a swiveling waist. Ball joint right here. And all of this is due to the transformation, but it's so great. He even has thigh swivel. I don't believe any of the other ones have thigh swivel. Massive knee bend right there. And his feet can actually tilt forward for poses like that. So, man, he is great. And he's going to be really great once I put the full floor polish on. But, like, posing him just now was just so simple. Like, that is so cool. Here he is next to Chop Shop and Starscream. And as you can see, you probably can't see it right here. Let me see if I can lower the camera. But he is way taller than Chop Shop. And he's even taller than Starscream a little bit. Transformation is fairly simple. What you want to do is put the head in this orientation and go ahead and start hinging things back. It will push his head down in there. Go ahead and bring this handle back like that. Bring the arms up like this. Hinge this elbow backwards. Same thing over here. Lift the shoulders up like in this orientation. Lift them up so that this peg can go in that hole. Lift the elbows up. Peg everything together. Peg this together. The legs. The hips swivel down like this. Sort of like breakdown. Minor words breakdown. Flip the feet out like this. Twist the knee in right here. Flip the feet out like this. And go ahead and collapse this together. If you don't bring that hip piece down, it won't be able to transform fully. Push this handle back. And now he's like a flying artillery cannon. Like doof, doof, doof. Doof, 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 doof. One cool thing about him in his flying cannon mode, his hand becomes like a port. If you have a figure like Megatron here that has a Minicom port, which is actually just a 5mm peg, you can go ahead and do things like this. Plug him there, and now he has a big cannon on his arm. I had to transform that to get it out of the way, but if you have another figure with ports like that, he will definitely slide on. And let's take him to his real mode, which is a gun, a handheld gun. He unfortunately has a 5mm peg plus another peg in front. I don't know if, I'm thinking that's for stability and combiner hands or whatever. They put that there. But if you don't want that there, you can easily take a razor and shave that off. But for a figure like Megatron, his hands are too big. You need a figure with smaller hands. This peg can go in there. But I'm having trouble right here. But another good thing about Megatron, he has a port right there. You plug that in right there. So now he has another cannon on his arm. Well, let me get a figure that can actually hold him. So if you get a figure that has small enough hands that can fit 5mm pegs, he can be held. And a figure that has good tight elbow joints and shoulder joints, he can be held. But one thing I notice is this. This might not be a full-on 5mm peg because that is very, very loose, which I don't like. Here he is in a combiner hand, and it is still very loose, and most of the hands have little ridges right there. It can't fit deep in there, but even when I put it all the way in there, it's still very, very loose and just wiggles around. So I'm not really liking that. Maybe the Bruticus hands are different. Maybe not. We'll find out. But let's look at all this detail. Unfortunately, this product tattoo is visible in this mode right there. You get a Decepticon symbol you couldn't see because it's covered by the gun handle. This is what he looks like from the bottom. You can't really make out a robot. It just looks like a big gun. That's the barrel. Of course, this is the sight. The markings are on both sides, or molding is in both sides. But yeah, he turns into a very, very cool gun. Let me get one more comparison out here. You know, I said one more comparison, but it's going to be two. I was able to get Devastator to be able to hold him. You have to put it in the hand a specific way, but it's still not tight. Let me try to show you. Basically, Devastator's hand has this little piece of plastic right there. Shockwave little handle can actually sit right there. Then you have to make sure the fingers are set. And it kind of sits there off of just friction and whatnot. But you have to fiddle around with it for them to get a good grip. It was working better than this earlier, but it's very, very finicky. So, yeah, it's not necessarily made for him, but you can get him to do it. So one more thing to show you. Seeing how Megatron is covered in Minicon ports, this is what you'll be working with. In vehicle mode, you can connect Shockwave to any of these Minicon ports. Give Megatron a little bit of extra firepower. He'll be there, be up here. But this stuff on the underbelly right here of Shockwave gets in the way. It's like weird. They designed him to be a gun, but a lot of the stuff gets in the way. Unless you have them at very specific angles. I mean, I guess it would work technically. You can fit back here, of course. So you can shoot forward and backward at the same time. I guess this is the best fit. It's kind of aiming down, but yeah, you get the picture. Anyway, I really, really enjoy this Shockwave. He is very, very nice. Very posable. I love the coloring. One thing this year with Combiner Wars, as far as Legends class figures, they have not been being cheap as far as painting the Legends class figures. A lot of them have a lot of good paint, and I really like that. I mean, I really appreciate that. I wish they would do that for all the figures, but they haven't been cheap with these guys, which is good. Well, they have been cheap because a lot of them don't come with weapons, but I love the detail and paint is, I guess, the moral of the story that I was trying to get to. But anyway, definitely buy this guy. When I see another one of these, like my friend Extra Zero was saying, I'm going to buy another one just to carry it around with me, have it at work or wherever I'm at. He and Fix-It can fight over my affections. But anyway, I love them. Buy them. If you like this review, think about giving me a like, share, subscribe, comment. T-Man978, out of here.